If you clicked on this video, it means you're done playing small. You're done letting fear decide your life. But today, we are rewriting that story. So sit up and listen because this is the moment you choose to become fearless. Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Riya Jadhav, and in today's video, I am not here to tell you to stop being afraid. Instead, we are going to understand what fear actually is, where it comes from, and what you should do when fear shows up. So let's get right into it. Chapter 1. What is fear? Fear is a biological response. It is your body's way of warning you about any possible dangers. So, when your brain senses a threat, it creates fear so that you either avoid the situation or prepare yourself for the situation. Fear exists just to protect you for survival. And if you see, there is nothing wrong with fear. But the problem arises when fear starts controlling situations that are not actually dangerous. Chapter 2. Fear is learned, not inbuilt. Before I start explaining how fear develops, let me share an experiment with you which was reported by BBC. So, this experiment involved toddlers. These children are very young and they know nothing about world. Okay, so they are put in a room with their toys and they're chilling and all of that, playing, and after a while they are introduced to non-venomous snakes in a controlled environment, of course, and their parents outside of the room, they are literally freaking out, and these toddlers, they could care less. They had no fear at all. In fact, they were touching the snake, they were playing with them, they were enjoying. You could say, they showed curiosity instead of fear. And this experiment concluded that babies, when we all were babies, we were just born with two fears. The first one being the fear of loud noises, and second, the fear of height. Rest, every fear, every single fear that you have today is developed. And I'll tell you how it's developed, okay? I'll give you an example. All of us have experienced this. When we were a child, we were warned by our parents, by anybody, to not touch any hot object. Okay, they were like, of course you will burn, if you touch it you will burn your hand. Or sometimes what would have happened for with the rest of the people is that you would have touched any hot object unknowingly or accidentally, and your hand got burned, and you realized, oh, I should not touch any hot object because my hand would get burned. Which means that sometimes you learn fear by experience, and sometimes you learn it through warnings, that is, external factors. In both cases, fear is learned. And guess what, guys? What can be learned can be unlearned. Chapter 3. Let it happen. One of my professors shared his experience with extreme stage fear. So, what happened was, he had an extreme stage fear. He had fear of speaking on stage, performing on stage. One day, it was a situation where he had to give a speech, okay, on stage in an auditorium full of a huge crowd. Okay, so what happened was, he was thinking, okay, what if I fumble? He was thinking of all the worst possible situations. What if I fumble? What if I forget my lines? What if people laugh at me? What if I see them laughing? What if everything goes wrong? But he decides, okay, he'll go anyway, and he had no choice. He went there, and guess what? Everything that he thought happened. People laughed. People, he forgot his lines. He fumbled. He sluttered. He stammered. He did everything. Everything went wrong. But the next time, the fear was gone. The next time he had to speak, there was no fear. He was like, I don't care, I just want to go there. It has already happened. I don't care if people laugh again. I don't care if I stammer. I don't care if I slatter. I don't care if I fumble. I really don't care. I just want to speak. Because, and this happened because when your brain creates fear, it's strongest when things are uncertain, when situation is uncertain, when your brain is dealing with uncertainty. And once it has happened, your brain is like, I survived this, man. I did not die. I did survive this. Nothing happened. Nothing big happened. Okay, it's fine. It's just 3 days of embarrassment, and then you're like, fine, okay, life goes on. This is what happens with fear. And the next time you do it, you feel less fear. The next time you do it, you feel less, and then you're like, step 4, turning obstacles into opportunities. Here is where everything changes, okay? Fear doesn't disappear magically. You replace it with actions. You stop seeing them as obstacles, as problems, but start seeing them as opportunities to grow. And remember this, okay? Nobody is perfect at the beginning. Even the most successful speakers, even the most successful businessmen, even the most successful sports persons you see, they are not successful at the beginning. They are not perfect at the beginning. They have developed themselves. They were afraid when they just started, okay? And you would be, of course, you would be, because it's completely natural. So when fear shows up, here is what you do. Step 1, name your fear and reject it. Don't run from fear, name your fear. Say exactly what you're afraid of. I am afraid of failing, I'm afraid of falling in love, I'm afraid of being judged, I am afraid of height, I'm afraid of this and that. Once you name it, once you name your fear, you take away power and then you reject it. What you should do is that define yourself. Say, I am Riya Jadhav and I am afraid of this. I am afraid of, let's say, failing. I'm afraid of speaking. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. And you see, read it, and then you feel like, oh my god, no, I don't want to define. I don't want to be defined by this. I don't want to be labeled as this. So you would think about actions that you would take in order to remove this label. That means that you are rejecting your fear. Step 2, reprogram your brain. Your brain works like a computer. If you keep feeding your brain fear based thoughts, it will run on fear. So, what you must do is that you must remove the fear virus from your brain, from your computer, and replace I can't do this with I can learn how to do this. I will learn how to do this. I can take time, take my own time. I'd learn, I'd figure out. It's okay if things go wrong, and I'll still do it, still accomplish it. And this is how you reprogram your brain into thinking everything would be okay. Step 3, choose the outcome you want. Fear always shows the worst result. Like I told you about my professor who was afraid and who was thinking, what if people laugh and what if this and that happens? And everything did happen because he was thinking like that. So, what you do is you train your brain to think of or to imagine the best possible result, the best possible outcome out of it. So you think of everybody giving you a standing ovation when you're speaking. You think of, oh, you survived this, like you don't die or anything like that. You were just okay, fine, healthy. You just win any award because you did something. You just you think about the best outcome. You think about, oh, your boss would appreciate you if you do this, your teacher would appreciate, your parents would appreciate you if you do this. Step 4, find people who support your growth. This is very important. Fear becomes stronger when you like stand alone. I feel like that. So find mentors, find best friends, find friends who support you in confidence and in growth. So, with me, my friends, whenever I doubt myself, they are like, are you an idiot? Why would you think about that? Why? Do you think you cannot achieve all of that? Do you think like that? Why do you think like that? Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Because I feel the right support system makes courage easier. And it's so important to have friends, because if you have a no, 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 let's not do this, please, let's not do this, no, 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 this is not, I'm very afraid. If you're going to be with that friend, even you're going to be like that. You're never going to work on your confidence. You're never going to win in life. Step 5: rebuild your brain through actions. The only way to defeat fear is to confront it. So, if you're afraid or if you have fear of this X thing, do that X thing. If you are afraid of height, do an activity which involves height, which involves you overcoming fear of height. You would feel like you have achieved everything if you overcome your fear. Okay. And that is how you rebuild your mind, your brain, into thinking that, oh, I don't have this fear anymore. No, 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 no. I have defeated this fear. So what you have to do, what I do is that I fold my hands like this. I do deep breathing and I tell myself, okay, I am feeling anxious at this moment, and it's very natural to feel that. I'm a human being. It happens, but I am worthy of handling the situation and bringing the best outcome I could with this situation. And I will do that. This is what I do. And guess what? I rock it. I always rock it. And if you avoid fear, you would feel safe, but you would always be underconfident. You would never win in life. And as I told you, you'd always have that label. I am this, my name is this, and I'm afraid of this. But if you overcome fear, that label is gone and you're just yourself. You're that brave person who is not afraid of that thing. So, facing fear trains your brain to trust you more. It's like, oh, girl, I can trust you. I can just not panic over situations. I cannot give her stress over situations, and I could let her do things because she is worthy and she deserves to handle things on her own. And this is how you rebuild your brain and build your confidence. When you stop organizing your life around fear and start organizing it around growth, everything changes. Remember, fear was created to protect you, not to control you. I hope you liked today's video, and if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye.